everybody, I'm Vasel, and welcome to Lookback. This is a series of videos that I do each week where I go back 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years ago. I tell you what I think about the reviews that I did that exact week, or not about the reviews, but about those games and what I think about them now. So let's get started. A year ago, I took a look at Ignite. This was a big tactical deck building game, but it's really a mess. It's overwrought, and at the same time, it's not that great of a production, but it's really big. I felt like it just was a boring tactical game. The deck building wasn't very good at all. It was just a bad combination. 4 out of 10. Unsettled. I like this one the least of the Dice Tower Studios. Some people here really like this one. You can see Mike, it's one of his favorite games. This cooperative game from Orange Nebula about going around a planet. I just found it to be unfun in many different ways. 5 out of 10. What Next? This is a speed game, sort of. Game, right? Not a speed game, but you're like playing through a choose your own adventure, and then you do these weird dexterity type games. The game, I guess, is like, what do you do next? What do you do next? But you're picking what you do next through dexterity challenges, and then you eventually lose or not lose, but the choices that you make. It's entertaining, but the dexterity parts aren't always the best. 6 out of 10. Hanami Koji, I finally reviewed this one. A nice two-player back and forth outguessing the other person card game. 7 out of 10. Exit the Game, Kidnapped in Fortune City. This is the last Exit game that I've done. I would like to... so it's kind of interesting. This is the last one that I've done because it's... I will be reviewing one in a bit here soon. But this one here, you got to go around the different spots. It kind of let you choose your own path. It was good. 8 out of 10. Mindbug, First Contact. This one here... Several designers, including Richard Garfield, but it feels like Magic the Gathering, the mini game. Really tiny little game, but some really good choices. 8 out of 10. And then Kids Chronicles, Quest for the Moonstones. This is from Lucky Duck Games, and this is a very similar to Chronicles of Crime, but it's for very young kids, and it is fantastic. 9 out of 10. 5 years ago, I took a look at Space Freaks. This is from Stronghold Games. You're on a planet gearing up to fight other people. It's honestly a mess. I look back, I gave it a 6, but man, it's not very good. 5 is my new score. Pit Crew. This is from Jeff Engelstein. I really like a lot of stuff that he does, but this one just felt too lucky and not very interesting. Another 5 out of 10. The Masters Trials, Wrath of Magma. Magma Wrath. This one here is a remake of Dice City, but it was a cooperative game. It's very, very difficult, and it's not as good as Dice City. 6 out of 10. Richard the Lionheart. This is from CMON. Doesn't look like a typical CMON game where it's like 2 versus 2 type game. You're on 2 different sides, moving different tracks, playing cards. There's a lot of interesting ideas, but at the end, it doesn't come out to be that exciting of a game. 6 out of 10. Who's the Dude? This one's ranked really low on Board Game Geek. Really low. And I get why. It comes with an inflatable guy, and you are essentially doing charades using this guy, which sounds like it's a game sale at Spencer's. It's really not. It's more silly family fun. It's almost good enough for approval. 6.5. Terraforming Mars, Venus Next. I gave this one an 8, and I'm sticking with an 8, although I will say still, of all the Terraforming Mars stuff, this is the one I play with maybe the newest expansion. But definitely, I don't play with Venus that much, but I do like that it exists, and sometimes I use this stuff. And then Altiplano, this is the sequel to Orleans. This is very similar, but Orleans is clearly, in my opinion, a superior game. This one's still very good as you're moving around, collecting tiles, a little abstract. I dropped it from an 8.5 to an 8, but I still think it's a good game. 10 years ago, I took a look at Food Chain. Not Food Chain Magnet, just Food Chain. It's a boring, make chains out of cards game from Brain Games. I didn't really like it. 5 out of 10. Briefcase. I believe this is one of the first Artipia games I played. I like Artipia. This tile-laying game about briefcases and businesses just didn't work at all for me. 5 out of 10. Army vs. Aliens. This is a rolling dice game. I dropped this one from a 6 to a 5. It's okay. You roll dice and you're fighting the other person based on your rolls. Komodo. This is a tile-laying game about Australian animals. It's okay. 6 out of 10. Lemonade Stand. It's about, hey, starting a lemonade stand and making money. It's okay. 6 out of 10. Hetrix. It's basically hexagonal domino, sort of. It's a little bit more than that, but it's okay. 6 out of 10. Oh No Invasion. This is a small little cooperative game that's Okay, 6 out of 10. Air King. This is a game about landing airplanes, which is a really cool theme. Another little card game from Brain Games, and it's okay. 6 out of 10. All right, Guillotine. Now, this game's very old compared to other games that on this list, but I reviewed it 10 years ago. A game about trying to make sure that you chop off the heads of people. It's a very dark theme. In the French Revolution to get the most points. I'm still amused by it. 6.5. All right, but there was some good games 10 years ago. Archipelago, this was from Christopher Bollinger. It's one of his best games. A 7.5 I gave this one. There's a slightest bit semi-co-op. This is a game that people use in semi-co-op, but can only partially happen in part of the game. Other than that, it's a very big Euro game. Fortress America, another older game that I reviewed a newer version of it. And when I was a kid, I would have given this a 10 out of 10. I played it so much. But now it's an 8 out of 10. And then Fist of Dragonstones. This game, 10 years ago, I'm not sure if I reviewed, I think it was the original Days of Wonder one. I'm not sure if it was that one or if it was the remake of the Stronghold game, but this is one of my favorite Bruno Fedudi games. I like the bidding. It's blind bidding. A lot of people don't like it, but I enjoy it. So another 8 out of 10. And those are the games that I did 1, 5, and 10 years ago. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Lookback on the Dice Tower.